Chad, welcome to the podcast, man. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Usually, how we start the podcast is I say, "What's your name? How many kids do you have? And what do you do for a living?"
Okay. Chad Kelly, currently one on the way.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, a couple more weeks, and I'm a professional athlete for the Toronto Argonauts, quarterback.
So, how did you even get into football, man?
It's just in the family, I guess. You know, my one uncle played 12 years in the NFL, made a beautiful living not only for himself but his family and my family too. Had another uncle that played professionally as a linebacker for the, I guess it was Baltimore Colts, and then they went to the Indianapolis Colts, right? So he was there during that little change of cities. And my dad played football. His other brothers played football. It was like you're doing nothing but playing football. So I'd say it worked out.
So, it was in the blood.
It's definitely
Basically.
in the blood. Definitely.
I read that like your dad had a big impact on you as a
Yep.
kid, and like always taking you out to play and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because, you know, people don't understand how much time actually a father needs to, you know, embrace with their son to be able to relate, you know, to help them mold. And now I'm looking back at it like my dad was with me every single day to kind of help me get to where I needed to be, where I am today, right? He was, you know, on my tail every single day just to be out there throwing the football, kicking the football, punting the football, you know. And I think all that is obviously dedicated to, you know, how he grew up too. His father was the same exact way. So now, you know, that I'm having a son quite soon, I'm like, okay, I have to be in the same mentality if I want my son to be able to grow up and be a professional football player too. So, you know, my dad had a huge impact definitely in getting me where I am today, just always staying on my tail, whether it was rain, snow, sleet, shine. It was always like football comes first. You're going to be out there throwing it, doing what you have to do to get to where you want to be.
It's crazy, man. Because like when I think about it, he worked a job too, and
Yeah.
you got to do this too. It's hard.
For sure.
Like as a new father myself, my girl's 4, and it's like after I'm done work, I'm so tapped out, but you got to, you know, put in that energy.
And I think, you know, I'm not used to it yet because I haven't, you know, had my son yet, but I think, you know, you just got to get over that tiredness, right? And speaking to one of my teammates today, he just had his second, and I was just like, "How's it going?" He's asking me, "Oh, how's my wife doing?" And I'm just like thinking, I'm like, "Bro, what am I gonna get ready for? Like, what's the biggest thing?" He's like, "Dude, when you're tired and the kids are up, you're not going to sleep. When the kids are asleep, you better make sure you're asleep too, because there's not much time to sleep, and you're gonna be dead tired where you just gotta push through it, right?" So, you know, my dad grew up working night shifts. So it was like I was the man of the house growing up. And then, you know, when I left for school, my dad would be sleeping. And then, you know, when I got home, okay, now we're going to go to work and get ready to play football. My dad would be right there with us and kind of help prepare us for, you know, life.
It's crazy, man. It feels like it was just written in the stars, as they say, man. Like this was kind of your fate.
Yeah. I mean, it was something that I always wanted to do just because of seeing how my uncle did everything. You know, he made a fantastic living. I think we were talking about this the other day that he made, I think, $3 or $4 million over a course of a year. You know, those guys are getting paid $50-60 million now.
Yeah.
And some of those quarterbacks haven't even touched the Super Bowl yet. And it's crazy to think that he was only making $3 million 30 years ago. I know inflation is different, but you know, the way the NFL has transcended and you know, professional athletes are getting paid a lot of money now. And, you know, I saw a life that was like so amazing, not only for himself, but his wife, his kids, my family. Like it was an amazing thing to see that you could have such enjoyment. Obviously there's ups and downs. You go through different things, but I think just seeing what he was able to provide for his family was so it was just an amazing feeling. Like I saw my cousins go on the field at a young age. I was able to go, you know, work out in the Bills facility. I was able to do things that kids couldn't do, and I was super blessed. But like now looking back on it, that was one of the most amazingest things I ever got to do, and I hope I can give my son something like that one day, you know?
So let me ask you, man. You're a young age, you know you want to be a football player. Because like sometimes I worry with my daughter,
Yep.
don't want to push her to do stuff. How did you even push yourself to want to do that?
Oh, that's a good one. there's a lot of times where you don't want to do it, right? We all go through mental hurdles. I think it's just about, telling yourself what you want in life, right? And I just kept on reverting back to like seeing my uncle, bringing us on the NFL game field at a young age, bringing us in the locker room, letting us go into the facility and see professional football players. I mean, that was a dream come true to be able to, meet those guys. And now I'm able to give back like that. So it is a mental hurdle for sure to just be able to keep pushing yourself. And like I said, there was days you didn't want to do it, but you knew that down the road it would be for your benefit. And, things happen and you push yourself till you can't push yourself anymore. That's why they say it's a mental hurdle, not a physical hurdle.
So did pressure from like your dad or your uncle ever play a role?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people expect you to be really good, right? With, the genes you have. People don't know what type of work you put in off the field, right? Obviously on the field, they see the finished product when it's game day. Your friends and teammates see what you put in, day by day. But, the average fan doesn't really know. So there's a lot of pressure because those are the people that are looking at you on game day. Like, is he ready? Is he going to do what he's supposed to do? Because he has the ability, but he has to show it on game day. And I think that, so much pressure was put on myself during like my younger age because we did pump, pass, and kick, right? And I was talking to my wife yesterday about this. Pump, pass, and kick definitely molded me into being able to apply certain pressure to, game days. And it was, you only get one punt, one kick, one pass, right? And it had to be as straight as it can be. And you got to go to different, places. You would elevate, first round, second round, third round, fourth round. If you won, your fourth round, you would go on to, I believe, the fifth round, and it was only 4 people out of, 1 million people would try out. So you only get one try.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, what happens if you mess it up? Well, that's it. So the pressure of like executing and throwing that one pass straight down the line as far as you can and punting it, and everybody's watching. Like, there's only one person going at the same time, right? And there's 4 people. And obviously you have other age groups that are there, but they're not going at the same time. So like they're calling one person up one at a time. And there's a lot of pressure. Like as a young kid, you don't really understand what pressure is until your later years. So I think at that young age, I learned to understand what pressure meant to get where we are today.
How much of an impact do you think mental aspect of it is? Like, obviously you have to be a good player, but how much can it screw you up not being in the proper mental state?
It's huge. I think ever since, I would say, NFL, really, you got to put yourself in a different mind frame than anybody. Obviously, as a quarterback is a lot different, but being able to, speak the language that, guys have been in it for 50 years. You're talking about coaches that have been around, right? You got 60, 70-year-old coaches that have been in the game for so long. So mentally, you just have to be so well prepared that you can relate to people that have been there for 50 years when you've only been there for 1 year.
Yeah.
So the mental side is just, it's a different game. That's why I invested in a hyperbaric chamber. That's why I invested in doing, these electro currents for your brain to understand when your brain's not working, when it's not turned on, when it's turned on, how it's working. I did a lot of these mental exercises to really put me in a different state. Some of the foods that you put into your body aren't going to put you in a smart mental state. So there's things that you grow and you learn, and I read quite a bit, but I think the mental aspect is even stronger than the physical aspect. That's why I think they say 90% is mental and 5% is physical, and the other 5% is just your athletic, gift.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It takes, I think, talent to kind of wash out any negative thoughts in your head.
And that's the number one thing. People can say, "Oh, I'm a dog. I'm not phased. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going." Everybody has those negative thoughts creep in. It's about, can you push yourself past that? Yeah. And that's the most amazingest part about training, right? When you're getting tired, you're getting exhausted, and you're like, "Oh man, I got another 2 reps, 2 sets here." I'm like, "Okay, I got to do it." and the time's ticking. You only got, 10, 15, 20 seconds to recover. Yeah, they say about proper rest, but at the same time, you're training your mind to be able to go. And, going back to, I'll give you an example. And I always thought this always stuck with me. When I went to go try out for the Green Bay Packers for a rookie minicamp, we went into the weight room. Obviously, we're there for 3 days. You're going to get in the weight room during those 3 days. What they preach about is you're not waiting around, sitting around. You're always doing something in the weight room. What does that mean? Well, that means that he does not want to see one single person looking around, waiting for someone to pick up the next weight or doing something. They want everybody at every single time doing something. They said, yeah, if we go see you get water, you can get water, but you only got about a 30-second count. We know the guys that are going to sit by the trash can, drink their water, and then go back. Okay, it'll be another couple minutes. They want guys always doing something. I always found that super amazing because that's just that mentality that they've always been in. And that's a winning franchise, And I thought it was super unique because when you're just always going, that mind and mental part is different than just waiting around trying to get, recover. It's different. It's different.
It's crazy. Like, I can ask so many different things, but I guess to do this, rehab how important is it to have rehab and have positive people around you? Because you're alone.
Yeah.
Your team is away.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that everybody goes through because you're always trying to get better. But rehab is more of a mental aspect because you're trying to fight that itch that is really like stopping you, right? And having the positivity around, that's everything because you have to be striving to get better each and every day. And it's cliche to say, but like you really got to understand what positivity does for your mind, your body. And that's kind of how I live by. I don't like negative things. I try to, I don't want to answer the phone if it's negative. And sometimes you got to approach it and you got to do it. But at the same time, when you know that something's affecting you mentally, you gotta get that out of your lifestyle and refocus and just try to surround you, like you said, with good people that, have the same mindset, positivity, good energy, and just, that's how people elevate to get to where they want to be, right?
That's cool, man. So when you're in rehab, what's the process look like as soon as like you get off the field? What does that look like?
Well, I have a hyperbaric chamber. I have a thing called a molecular enhancer. I got, the bone stimulator right now. I got the ice machine. I got an MAT guy. I have an activation guy. I mean, I dedicate my life as it's a full-time job to rehab, right? And obviously I don't want to do it. But even if I wasn't hurt, I'd still be doing it, right? So it's kind of like it's an everyday thing. I carry about my business. I do what I need to do. I know what works for my body. I know what I need to put in to my body. It's a full-time job. It is.
Cool, man. That's pretty sweet. I wanted to bring something up. It just kind of went through my head. Oh, your mom had a big role in you.
Yep.
In your life. I think I saw a video of Argos. They posted it 2 years ago and how much of an impact your mom has on you. Like, what kind of different roles did your dad play versus your mom growing up?
Well, I think my mom was more of like the mental side, right? And she would always put us in just like a calming presence. It's kind of wild to think about it because what you just said, my dad was more of like the physical and my mom was more of the mental, right? But we play a sport where it's all mental, right? And there's guys saying, outrageous stuff to you. They're trying to get you off the game. And you got to somehow lock in and just be so mentally, prepared and locked in that nothing's going to affect you. So, I think my mom just brought a calming presence, a positive energy that, a mom normally is stressed out, right? And we put a lot on our plates. We play a physical sport, right? So, like every time you're running the ball, there's a sense of, I don't want to say scaredness, but there's a sense of, vulnerability, I could say, that they have to be ready for as a woman and as a mom, right? So I think she just mentally got not only myself, my brother, my dad into, such an amazing headspace and always kept us there and just, kind of grounded the family and into being, mentally safe,
Yeah.
really. Because, as men, we go, go, go. We're always on the go. We always want to do things. I have ADHD. I know I was always on the go. And, sometimes that can get the best of you, right? And you really have to understand what it means to be mentally like locked in. We talk about that all the time with my wife and her sister about just being like locked in. That's something that we always say to each other, like, hey, lock in, and it's pretty cool, to sit here and speak about those things because not many people really understand mentally what people go through. It's honestly an amazing thing because as an athlete, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. And that's why I do so many things off the field for my mind and mental. Like some of the stuff Tom Brady was doing, my trainer was able to do some of that. There's just so many things that I got to witness over, a 10-year period to see how guys get prepared and stay prepared and stay locked in and to be mentally ready.
So when you're on the field and let's say someone just doesn't complete a play and you lose the game, how is that reflect, or at least in the locker room, like, do people kind of chirp that player? Are you guys a team? You guys support each other? Like, how does that concept work?
There might be a guy or two that would chirp someone.
Yeah.
There's always those people, right? And I think at the end of the day, those people mean well. But at the end of the day, like, you got to be just prepared. You got to be prepared. And, where I think this goes to another level, if you knew someone messed up, right, but he hadn't been always locked in and doing the right things on and off the field, you might be a little bit more upset about that, right? Because you weren't fully dedicated to what you needed to do to make that play or to be ready, right? Yeah, we always have bad games. I've thrown 4 interceptions twice. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
And that means that I probably wasn't locked in. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. But the next week I came back and I got better. Yeah. And that's where I think the excitement comes from, is when someone doesn't make a play, but the next play they come back and they make an amazing catch, amazing play, amazing block, whatever it is. They came back and they got revenge. And that's what it's about. It's about being mentally prepared, get rid of it, short-term memory, but then you came back and you made more plays for your team.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, like, you got to just move on.
Yeah.
Remember what you did, but just turn the page or you're going to be stuck.
Yeah. It's the short-term memory, right? And it's something that people don't fully grasp because, like, if we get an argument right now, right, in 30 seconds, that argument's done. Okay, am I just going to hold a grudge? No, I'm just short-term memory. Okay, it's done. It's over with. All right, let's move on.
Tell that to my wife.
but that's the thing. Like, wives might want to talk about it, right? I mean, we always get in arguments with our significant other. They're small, but sometimes they're like, why aren't we still talking about this? Well, it's done. It's over with. And that's how, as football players, you're supposed to have short-term memory. Just like a defensive back. He gets beat, well, he's got to come back the next play. He's not just going to be down and out. And, you hear these guys go through interviews and they talk about that. That's a big thing. And it's about being, prepared and locked in even after you have short-term memory. You got to just put it away and move on, right?
We're going to have to get you a locked-in tattoo.
Locked in tattoo.
I like it. Oh, that's dope, man. Coaches, how much of it, like a father role, do they play for you guys?
Yeah, I think, I'm blessed to have 2 great coaches right now. My quarterback coach, Mike Miller, he's been amazing. He went through cancer not this past year before. And it was really tough not having him there because he was like a father figure, right? And it's kind of amazing to say that you can call those guys at any time, share anything you want, and it stays with them, right? And that's what a father figure does. So having him and then, Coach Dinwiddie, the head coach, those guys and me, just we all work so well together. And anytime you can call them. No judgment. They're just, hey, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to say, tell me, and I'll help you. You help me, and we work together as a team. And I think that's what great coaches and great players and great teams do. They can work together. They can relate, and that's where I've seen the most success is coaches that can relate to players and vice versa, because that's how you have great teams. And we've been thankful we've won, 2 out of the last 3 years, and I'd say that's pretty damn good.
Congrats, man.
So coaches definitely have a big role in being father figures, right?
The city of Toronto loves you, man. I
love the city of Toronto.
It's crazy how much you've embraced the city and how much people embraced you.
Oh, it's such an amazing town. Like, Toronto's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it from the people, the food, the cultures. I mean, obviously I met my wife here. I've been in awe of how well, people have respected, not only myself but my family being from the States, and it's an amazing feeling to have a culture like this in such a short place away from Buffalo, because there's not much culture. Yeah, you have your Italians, you have, your Polish, you have a short select few of, cultures there. But here you're going to find everything.
Yeah.
And I love good food, best food in the world, I think, right here in Toronto.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so what are your favorite go-to places in Toronto then?
Ooh. My favorite go-to, obviously, shout out to Jacobs. Jacobs is one of the best. Shout out to Mama Martino's.
Oh, man, Mama Martino's on
Queensway.
Dude, have you gone to Tom's Ice Cream?
I have not been to Tom's Ice
That's
Cream.
my boy's Guido's place.
Yeah,
we just went
okay.
there. It's where my daughter had her first ice cream. They use real cream.
Real cream.
It's the best ice cream joint you'll ever go to, ever. Let me know when you're ready.
All
We'll
right.
give you the whole VIP treatment.
Perfect.
It's so amazing. We actually, because I do music, and we shot a music video at that place.
Oh, no
They
way.
let us
Yeah.
go on top of the building.
Yep,
And it was
yep.
such a, it's such a vibe. It's an old school vibe.
It is. Super cool.
Yeah.
Outside is awesome. I mean, let's just put it this way. The whole Queensway is full of a lot of hidden gems.
Yeah.
We just went to a place called Kaji yesterday, known for one of the best sushi places in the city. I mean, there's like you said, there's hidden gems all over. I can't even think of all the places we've been to.
You got to try Aussie's Burger. It's in Kensington
Aussie's
Market.
Burger? Yeah?
You'll love it.
Okay.
Turkish guy who came from Turkey, came here, worked at Top Gun Burger, opened up his own joint. He'll treat you like he's like your family man.
Aussie's Burger?
Aussie's Burger.
Okay.
And then if you're in Etobicoke, Magoo's.
Magoo's,
So
haven't
good.
heard about that one.
Old school joint. It's near the Queensway, a couple minutes away.
Well, I'm just going to say this. There's a place called Two Brothers.
Okay.
Have you heard of
I
it?
haven't.
Okay, shawarma.
Okay.
I go there 4 times a week.
I'm Arabic and I've never had a shawarma in my life.
Oh, my.
Yeah, man.
Never had a shawarma until I came up here, but
Okay.
it is the best. Two Brothers, go get their shawarma sandwich.
All right.
Not only do they recook it,
Yeah.
right, after they cut the meat, then they give you meat in the sandwich, fill it up, and then give you more meat on top.
Damn.
I'm like, okay, these guys know what they're doing.
Oh, shit.
And it is fresh. It's good. It's the bread is amazing. They know what they're doing.
At this point, they need to give
I don't
you
know.
a lifetime supply.
Hopefully my man over there can make that happen.
All right, Max, we're counting on you, buddy. Man, how did you meet your wife, anyways?
We met at a fundraiser event, at a TFC fundraiser event, and met her there, and it was just like love at first sight. And kind of crazy story. I'm from the States, so I have a U.S. cell phone. Well, the first 3 days of us, getting to know each other, did not have any phone service.
Oh, damn.
So I had phone service at the house because I got Wi-Fi. So when I left the house to go on our first date, my phone didn't work. So I couldn't get a hold of her. I didn't even know if we were going to be at the same spot or what. End up, I pull in. She pulls in 30 seconds behind me. I'm like, oh, thank God. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And she didn't even know. She's like, yo, is this guy what's he doing?
Yeah.
I can't get a hold of him. Phone's not working. Can't text
Did he
him.
ghost
Nothing's
me?
going through.
What's going on?
Exactly. And that was like, if I would have did that, I would have been like, okay, I'm never speaking to this person ever again. What excuse do they have for this one, right? Well, it happened again the next day. We went to go play tennis. I'm like, hey, I'll meet you here. And same exact thing. Would not work. So I'm sitting here for like 30 minutes at some random place. Can't get a hold of her because my phone's still not working.
Yeah.
No service. Use someone else's phone. I'm like, hey, I'm here. This is Chad, by the way. She's like, what's going on with your phone? I don't know. I literally don't know what's going on. Long story short, found her, an hour later wherever we were playing tennis that day. And the same thing happened again the next day. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? I'm calling Verizon. I'm saying, I'm paying my bills. What's going on? Like, why is this not working? And this has never happened before. Come to find out, the cell service had been down for those 3 days for Verizon customers.
Oh, my God.
Out of all the days, was our
Jeez.
very first part of our relationship, and I could not believe what was going on. Long story short, she still fell in love with me that day, so that was good.
It was
That
a test
good.
from God to see
It was,
if,
and she was all for it. So yeah, it was kind of crazy that situation. They only paid us like $15 to reimburse us for all these heartaches. I'm like,
Jeez.
$15?
Yo, it's
I
dinner.
almost lost my wife.
Yeah. I saw a lot of cool stuff you guys did. I saw a video that Max and you guys collaborated on. I think it was a woman named Shilan
Yep.
from
Yeah.
Iran.
Yep.
And I didn't get the full story. I got the scoop, but
Yep.
maybe you can tell me a little bit more, man.
Yeah, so let's just put it this way. It's a very sad story that goes on, not only in her life, but the people over there in Iran and Turkey, right? And she was in Iran, and make a long story short, she spoke up for, things that she felt was right. And the way we live over here in Canada is not how they live over there.
Yeah.
And, having family now that lives there, is over there currently right now, you have to wear the hijab and a balaclava. You got to wear that, right? So it's just kind of wild how much the government might, change your life in the matter of seconds, right? If you speak out on certain governments, they're willing to come and take you and use you as an example. And for us to be able to hear her story, the first time I was in awe of what actually goes on, right? I have a firsthand knowledge of it from my family's side, but now from a different perspective. This is literally going on in modern day history. And to know that I could have helped her, I was like, I'm all for it. And Max was working on figuring out some things, how we could help her. And we were able to, kind of free her from her situation and bring her family over. And it was just like something that was close to me, because I felt like there's more to be done. And this is just the first step in being able to help people in need of, coming to freedom. And that's what it is. We're so blessed to be here today, to be able to do what we're doing right now, and to see women, I don't want to say it abused, but it feels like it's abuse of power, right? And people feel different ways about different things. I have family there right now that is in Iran. They just got there, and it's Happy New Year in Persian. Eid Mubarak to my Persian family, and I want people to be able to live a healthy and safe life, and that's what we're able to bring her over here and give her 2 kids something to dream about one day, to be able to grow up and maybe be a football player, do whatever you want in life, and not feel threatened or unsafe.
Kudos to you and Max, man. You guys changed their lives.
For sure.
It's crazy.
And we're not done either.
Good for you, man. By the way, shout out to Max. I was just telling you guys, I love your Instagram. I love when going on it. It's like a story, man. It's like watching a movie. It's so inspirational. I love how you're just navigating with just the voiceovers, and I think it's awesome. I think it's very well done.
Yeah.
So
he did good. He did good.
Well, buddy, man. We touched up on so much stuff, man. We can jump back into the CFL. Was it weird playing for the CFL with kind of the different rule changes, like even versus high school where it's like 4 downs and now 3 downs? And
the biggest thing is it's like a cow pasture.
okay.
All right. And when I say that, I'm saying it is so big that you're like, wow, okay, if I can throw it 60 yards over here, that guy has to run as fast as he can over there. I think my ball is going to get there before he gets there. So I think just like growing up as a kid, it was like I remember being in my grandma's backyard. It's not big. They had a above ground pool, probably 20 yards deep, 20 yards wide. But there was these two ropes in the air or I don't know, lines that power lines, right? And I used to just kind of throw it up and try to like hit in between and it come down. And I got to thinking like, that's like the fun that I'm having up here. It reminds me of being able to be just like in a backyard and it's like a free for all where I'm like, okay, sometimes these windows close so fast and it's like, okay, I got to improvise. In the NFL, it's all about timing and like right at the perfect time, right at the perfect drop. The ball has to be there. And, you know, I'm big on anticipation, as my wife would say. She loves and hates my anticipation because I do it when I'm driving and everything else in life. But it's super cool to be able to play in it just because it's like a free-for-all. It really feels like you're just like free balling it. Like there's a lot of going on. There's guys in motion over here. They're running over here before the snap. I mean, a guy's running 10 yards straight ahead, full speed, and the ball hasn't even been snapped yet. And it's like, how is this guy supposed to run backpedaling against this guy? Just mathematically, it doesn't even seem like it should add up. So I think that's why, like what we say, we always call bombs over Baghdad. That's literally what we're looking for.
It's kind of crazy, and I don't know if you are in the N64 era, but I used to play NFL Blitz all the time.
Blitz, yeah.
And that was one of the plays, and Hail Mary was one of the plays. One of my favorite games.
That was the one where they could. Is it NFL Blitz or Street? I'm thinking maybe Street. I'm thinking of Blitz.
NFL Blitz was kind of like XFL. It was just like tackling them. You're running crazy, super fast.
I remember. I was on like Tony Hawk.
Oh, that was
back then.
It was 1080 Tony Hawk or something.
Yes,
I got N64 in the trunk with Mario Kart and everything, man.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome. So, are there like any challenges playing in the CFL in terms of like traditional football?
Yeah. I'd say the hard part is on the field or off the field.
Let's do both.
All right. Off the field is you're only required to be in there for 4 hours a day.
Okay.
4 hours. One day you can do 6 hours.
Okay.
So back in the CFL, I think 20 years ago, don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly. I believe a little bit ago, you could either work in the afternoon or in the morning because guys didn't make enough money, so they had to have two jobs, right? So the time that people dedicate themselves, right? People aren't making a whole lot of money. You know, we were talking about that today is guys only making $70,000 minimum salary in the CFL. That's hard to live on, right? Especially if you have to convert it and go back to America. Yes, we're thankful that we can play football, but that's not much money, right? So, you know, for guys to be so dedicated to put in, you know, training money, training hours, eat and sleep correctly, recovering the massages, the MATs, the ARTs. I mean, there's all this stuff that we talked about, the recovery part, that guys might not be able to do because of, you know, the pay scale. So to be able to get a really great product, you know, the NFL, there's unlimited money, right? And you're talking about unlimited money, players getting paid a lot of money. They're totally bought in to what they do every single day. You got a guy on our team that goes, you know, downtown every single day, comes to work in a suit because he's got to go to work. So, like, for him to be dedicated for 6 to 8 hours, that's tough because he's might be making more money over here in his day job, which football's his day job, but another day job, right? So, you know, I think the hard part is just having everybody bought in to, you know, constantly, you know, elevating the game off the field, I think, to get a better product, right? I mean, you got to put in 12, 14, 16 hours a day as coaches. So, you know, players got to put in 6 to 8, 10 hours a day. And I think that aspect. But I would say on the field, I mean, there's a lot of great players out there. There's a lot of great players. I believe that a lot of the guys in the CFL could play in the NFL, hands down. There's not much difference, I would say. Obviously, there's a difference in you know, there's a lot of guys in the NFL that are Hall of Fame, like one of ones to ever play. But there's also a lot of guys that could hang up there in the NFL too if they had the opportunity. That's why a lot of those guys are in the CFL, because they don't have the opportunity to show what they can do. And now that the NFL, shortened their preseason to 3 games, it's a lot harder for guys to make it, right? So I think that on the field there's a lot of players that could play. Cool. There's a lot of players.
Do you think so? Congrats on being like the highest paid CFL player. Do you think that, I think I'll just make this more of a statement. I think it's really positive. No doubt you're so talented that you're bringing up that market value for players in the CFL so they can actually make a living.
Which they should.
Yeah.
They should. And, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but I believe that guys should make a minimum salary, should make $100,000. If you want to actually live correctly, like you're looking at a place like Toronto. How are some guys supposed to come here?
Yeah.
Guys on the team that are on practice squad, they get put up in one of those nice high rises. But if they're only collecting $600 to $1,000 a week for 18 weeks, that's $18,000 CAD.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to make it? You can't go and take your wife out to dinner. How are you supposed to support your kids? I know a guy last year that was making a lot of money, and he had been doing it for a couple years. And he was literally living in a basement of a family with 3 other people that were living in the basement just to have a room to be able to send that money back to his family where they live. And that's the type of dedication. Those are the stories that we need to get out, that people would be in awe with how dedicated the guys in the CFL really are. There's a lot of guys that are super dedicated as to what I just said. But mentally, that is difficult. To be able to do that, I applaud them every day of the week, because I know, like, mentally, that's the hardest part is really the cash, and guys come up here because they love football. They know it's not much, and I'm thankful that, I'm able to do what I do, and I like to take care of my teammates with what I'm able to do as well. So, it's kind of incredible, some of the stories you do hear with how dedicated they are to be able to support their family with, such limited resources.
Yeah. I think definitely you're changing the face of CFL for the better. And
we need to.
Yeah, man.
We need to.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's really crazy, man. I was just in awe and just kind of listening, so I didn't know where to take it. You guys play 18 games.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we'll split into 2. What are people doing on the off season? Mm-hmm. Are they working full-time jobs? And what do you do for the off season? Are you just training, or do you give yourself a break?
Yeah. So, you're always training. It's 24/7 training. Yeah. You're never taking days off. But that's the luxury. You don't have to set an alarm and get up at a certain time. That's kind of when I left college, that was something I just admired, that I could wake up at any time, didn't have to set an alarm. And to do that is kind of cool. But you're just training. You're literally training. You're going to throw a couple months after the season ends just to give your arm a break. I always thought that, I need to throw all the time, every week. But, you throw so much, it's like riding a bike. And I always just wanted to keep doing it until I was around, some of these NFL guys, Phillip Rivers, Jacoby, Andrew Luck, Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum. I mean, I go on and on. Those guys, take time off. It's not like they're just throwing year round. You have to give your arm a break.
For sure.
So that's kind of how I learned how to kind of approach it when I got to become a professional, right?
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
When did you know you wanted to wear the number 12, and what does it mean to you?
Well, I just saw Uncle Jim wear it.
Hey,
so I was like, I want to be number 12.
Jim,
yeah. When I had the opportunity to wear it again in the CFL, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I want to do it.
Tribute. That's so awesome.
Yeah, double-digit numbers, I really love. 6 just kind of,
Yeah. Do you have what's your pump-up song for a game?
Pump-up song. I don't know. Shout out to the boy. jersey, man.
Hey,
I'm on a lot of Drake lately. I really like Drake, man.
me too, man.
Yeah.
Like my dream is to collaborate with him.
And TV Gucci.
TV
I really
Gucci?
like TV
All right.
Gucci. We got to get him like pumped up, man. Jane Street is the best. We really love. I don't know, Drake's on a comeback, man. He had never left, but people trying to write him off like that. Nah, man. He's got the best tunes. He got the best lyrics. You know, he's the sixth god, man.
You know it, man.
Yeah.
We taught you well here in Canada, man.
For sure.
Do you guys have walkout songs? I've never been to an Argos
Yeah, I
game
mean-
actually, so
We do, but it's like I don't know. I will say this. I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate right now, and I'm gonna say it anyways. I got like 5 or 6 songs that I listen to that like when I leave my house and there's no one around me, I'm listening to 5 or 6 songs, and it is top 5.
okay.
Whether it's YG in top 5, whether it's
So is there can you pick any song? What's the logistics of picking a song? Do you have to send it to them? Do they have to approve it? Is it through a catalog?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like they always ask, like, "Hey, what songs you want?" And I never even text back or hit back because I'm like, by then I'm just locked in.
Cool.
You know, like, yeah, you got. I'm sure whatever songs you pick, I already heard of it, and I can rap to it. I can listen to it, like no problem. But like the songs that I have on my phone, like. Yeah.
Damn, you're a hip hop guy, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
But no, I like Morgan Wallen. I'm kind of in my jazz mood lately.
Hey, okay.
Like I got this little one on the way.
Yeah.
I kind of like a little jazz sometimes.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I gotta check out Argos game this year.
For
at
sure.
least.
Please do.
So what's your plan for this year? Like, how's it looking?
Man, I think we'll be good. I think we'll have a great team. I think we're hungry, man. We're still hungry. Like just because we won 2 championships in 3 years and we've won a lot of games, we're still hungry. We have a lot of turnover, but it's good. It's good turnover because I think guys that we have right now are really hungry. Like some people wrote them off and they're here and they want to make a statement, right? And I think my wide receiving core is still good. Yeah, we lost Kai, but I think we still got a great group of guys. Running backs, we got Dean back. D Money's back. We got Kevin Brown from Edmonton. He's going to be good. O-line, still solid. I know Dejan's not here anymore. He's going to be a heck of a player for BC. But, you look at Pete at center. He's going to be good. We actually got our guy back from 2 years ago. So I'm glad he's good. Yeah, we got a good group of guys, man. We're gonna be good. Defensive side of the ball, we got some ball players, so I'm excited to see what happens this year.
How much of an impact does it have on you when like one of your teammates gets traded?
It does. It definitely has a big impact. Because you gain a relationship, and I think that's, we talked about what sucks in the CFL. That does suck because guys are only on 1, 2, 3 year deals in the CFL. You're not seeing 5-year deals like the NFL, 4 years. Like you see one every, 1,000 guys get a 4-year deal. I mean, it's very unlikely. I got essentially a 4-year deal from the time we signed. But, 3 years are not really like that. And that's where it's like, man, only 3 years. And sometimes they cut them after 2 because then they just eat the 3rd year, right? So it's like you only see 1 or 2 years out of guys, and it's like, man, it's hard to build a real, true relationship. Yeah, you get to know them, you enjoy them, but to really like have someone there for 10 years, you never see it anymore.
Yeah.
And especially in the CFL, it's a lot different than the NFL because there's guarantees and stuff like that. It's a lot of money people are dealing with, but here, it's tough. It hurts. It hurts people when you see someone like Dejan, like. Dejan was one of my closest buddies, and now he's over in BC, and I'm not going to speak about what we talked about, right after that went down, and it hurt me because like he was a close friend of mine, and I didn't know any of this was going down, and it sucks. It does suck.
Sorry, man. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Remember the
part of it.
Yeah, it's part of the sports, right?
Yeah.
Remember Doug Flutie era?
Of course.
Hey, that was like the era that I used to watch religiously, man.
Okay.
And then when he got when he went to the NFL to play for the Bills, I was just heartbroken. It was,
Yeah, but he did good.
Yeah.
He did good. He made a nice living. I want to meet him. I still haven't met him.
Get
That's
out.
one guy I want to meet.
I just started following
Doug, come
him.
on. Come to the game, big dog.
Let's go.
Come on.
I just started following him on Instagram just yesterday.
Okay, he's got the Batmobile.
Yeah, I saw that. That was so dope, man. He has a son. It's like so wicked. I actually sent him a DM. I don't know if he'll ever respond. I'm like,
Nice.
you're a legend, bro. You're a legend.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. I really like Doug Flutie, man, a lot. It's so funny. I was watching one of your, I binge watched all of your YouTube videos. Man.
Okay.
Honeycrisp
Honeycrisp
apple is your favorite.
Honeycrisp apples, for sure. That's the only one we're buying. We're not buying anything else.
My favorite apple, I washed it for you. It's called Sweet Tango. It's the best apple you'll ever eat in your whole entire life. Mark my words right now.
Oh, Sweet Tango.
Sweet Tango.
So it's red?
It's red and yellow.
Okay.
I'm a green apple guy, but when I tried this,
you like sweet. Yeah.
this was next level. It tastes like
Sweet Tango.
I'm telling you, man. So this one is
Okay.
yours for sure.
All
I
right.
washed it and
All right.
everything. So you got to try it out and let us know what you think.
Shout out
man.
to Hottie. Hottie told my wife that
Yeah.
she has to eat an apple a day to keep the doctor away.
There you go.
So
Honeycrisp is not my thing.
really,
It was hit and miss for me, man. Sometimes it had a chemical taste to it, and I was like, this is not it.
okay, interesting.
Yeah, so I only buy Sweet Tango.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
gonna try
man.
it. We'll try it.
Yeah, dude. So, what do you do on your off time? What's cooking besides obviously training? You play any like video games and
Nah,
anything like
don't
that?
own a game system. Yeah, I honestly I'm doing a lot of things off the field that I'm super passionate and excited about. Feels like every day I have a new meeting for off the field ventures. So
Cool.
you know, it's really all business right now. I mean, like you said, I got a son on the way. I got a support for him. So, you know, all day, every day, I'm looking for different things I can work on and invest in. And, you know, I'm thankful I have a great team around me that's, you know, giving me opportunities to be able to capitalize on my brand. And I'm excited about what's to come. Like I said, I can't really speak about it yet, you know, because we're still moving through some logistics. But other than that, I guess me and my wife love to go out to eat, good places, go for walks, bike rides. We like to travel.
Yeah.
We like to have fun. We've definitely had our fair share of fun for sure. Yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah.
Like, we really don't do much. Like, we like going back to Buffalo to visit family. Like, we love family. Family's super close to both of us, and you know, her family lives a little bit north, and mine's obviously in Buffalo. So it's kind of cool when we get to go back to Buffalo. I like to run my car through the car wash, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know, fatherly things,
Totally.
you know.
How do you think your life's gonna change now that you're gonna have a son, man?
I'm super stoked. I can't wait. Like, this has been a dream come true, a blessing.
How pumped are your parents?
They're so excited. Her parents also, this is their first grandchild too. So I think both of our families just mesh so well together that everybody's just so excited for everything, and including us. You know, when you get the baby room done and you get the car seat in, and you know, the hospital bag packed, it's like, okay, life's almost there now. Here we go.
Reality
And,
hits, baby.
you know, we went out yesterday, and now I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow, like, we're only gonna have a couple more of these where we don't have to, you know, we don't have to think about our child, you know, and it's kind of surreal, but it's like I said, it's a blessing, as you can, you know, already relate. It's gonna be amazing, I'm sure.
100%, you're gonna be the coolest dad ever, man.
Cooldads.com. Here we go.
That's pretty dope, man. Yeah, I think it's like, I think it'll be different, man. It's a new perspective on life once you have a son, right? Or any.
Yeah, and my best friend from Buffalo, he's got 3 kids, and I think it's like seeing how they grew up and where they are. They're super young still, but
Yeah.
it's like, wow, this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know?
You can.
And I'm just telling people already he's going to be in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's get
And it's like, okay, okay, here we go. I guess we're gonna see.
Maybe we'll see like a LeBron and Bronny era with you and your son.
Yeah, no.
No?
I don't think I'm gonna get to 20 more years in the
Come
NFL. Wouldn't that cool though?
Yeah, that would be dope, right? I think that's such a cool experience that you got to like experience going on the field at a young age with your
Yeah.
uncle, man.
Yeah.
That's and just meeting players
Yep.
and just being it's inspirational.
It is.
Right?
It is.
I think
It
that's
is.
wild.
It's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing, and hopefully I can do that to my kids, right? So,
What's your favorite football movie?
favorite football movie? Oh, that's a good one. The Longest Yard. Am I allowed to say that?
Longest I thought you'd at least say like Rudy or something.
You know, it's a long movie. No, Rudy's a long movie. Or am
It
I?
wasn't as long as Titanic. I'll tell you that.
Okay, shout out to Michael Levine, Titanic. Yeah, I mean, I think The Longest Yard because it's funny. I don't really like I know there's sentimental movies.
Yeah.
That's cool, but like I have ADHD. I need action.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
me and my girl, me and my wife Anyways, me and my wife, we watch movies, but we can't sit still. Like it has to be intense from the start. Like we want real action. We need action.
Totally.
So
You guys
I
are
don't
on
know.
your phone while watching the movie or
Of
something?
course. If it's not catching our eye, like,
Oh,
all right,
God.
next one.
So
here we
The
go.
Blind Side is not for you.
I love The Blind
Yeah.
Side. I do like that. That would be like it is a nice movie. It's a nice
Yeah,
movie.
I like it.
Like it's kind of surreal to know that I know the parents,
Oh, Get Out.
the Tuohys, because they
Ole
were
Miss.
Ole Miss.
I was
yeah.
thinking of you. Tell me.
So they're the number one donor at Ole Miss, and I've got to know them over the years, and it's just kind of crazy to think that my head football coach at Ole Miss was his high school head coach as well. So I've got to know like the main people. I've never met Michael Orr himself, but to know the people behind how this all like transpired and everything is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's dope. dude.
Yeah.
How does it feel to get hit being a quarterback? I'm just thinking about it. Like, does it scare you?
It doesn't feel the greatest, but you just black out. You black out and just go about your business.
Do you have like a way where you want to land every single time?
No, my dad just says hurry up and get up.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I do. That's why I got up after I broke my leg.
That's crazy, man.
So
You knew right away.
honestly, I didn't till like I went to put my foot down. I was like, oh wait, no, this doesn't seem good. Yeah. So
That's crazy, man. Graham, how much time we got? Oh, we're nearing the end. I never carry notes, man, but I just want to make sure I get everything from you, man. We're going to do trivia soon. You know what? Let's do
All
the
right.
trivia right now.
all right,
Would you rather star in a Will Ferrell movie or an Adam Sandler movie?
Adam Sandler.
Oh, wow.
Adam Sandler all day.
Attaboy, I like
I
it.
want to meet him so bad, and I know Shooter McGavin, Chris McDonald very well. Super close to our family, and he's the best. So I can only imagine how funny Adam is.
They're coming out with that.
I know. I
Happy
can't
Gilmore
wait.
too?
I
That's
can't
gonna be
wait.
sick.
Oh, it's gonna be good. But I am upset though. That would have been one I would actually go to theaters to watch. Don't just put it on Netflix.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's only Netflix. And I'm like, what? People are complaining about it. They're like, this is supposed to be an in-theater movie.
True.
So ain't no telling how much money Netflix gave up for that one, because that's an all-time.
All right,
That's an all-time.
let's go to Queensway Cineplex Theater, rent out the room, tell them to stream
Yeah,
Netflix,
right?
Happy Gilmore 2, and let's make it a
Okay.
thing.
That'd be good.
Done deal.
Oh, that'd be good.
If you couldn't play football, would you rather play in the NHL or MLB?
MLB.
Okay, baseball.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
NHL, that's tough.
Yeah.
I just went to the game the other night, and those guys, it's got to be so tough. They play almost back-to-back nights. They fly here. Like, skating on ice for your legs.
That's brutal.
That is brutal. And to be able to, the way they skate is incredible. Obviously, they've done it for 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's just incredible to really watch. Like, I'm sure they say the same thing about football players, but,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hockey players, it's a different level.
Have you met Austin Matthews?
I have not met Austin. I've met Mitch Marner. I've met Domi. Yeah.
So how does that work between Toronto teams? Is it as simple as just saying, "Hey, what's up"?
You go to different events, you see him out. Like I got to know Insignia Lorenzo. He's been pretty cool. Jaquil, he got obviously traded to Montreal. Got to know Richie. So I think some of those guys, just seeing him around. I got to know my guy Ernie Clement for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I think I can relate to a lot of guys. Just me being who I am, and I like to have fun just like those guys. So it's not like we're walking into some superstar, but
Sure.
it's kind of cool to be able to relate. Just like I got to know Kelly Olynyk a little bit before he left. So yeah,
Sweet. If you can have dinner with any athlete, past or present, who would it be?
any athlete, past or present. Ooh, Tom Brady.
Cool. Never met him?
No, I've seen him. Obviously, we played against each other, but I will say this. It was a Sunday night in Denver. I was the backup, and when we played against him, obviously, he runs to the middle, and I didn't, I'm not gonna fanboy,
Yeah.
I know him on the other side, but I hadn't got to meet him, and my uncle knows him really well, right? And I was like, I'm just watching, and when I say I thought I saw just like all these lights shining bright on him, it looked like there was Jesus.
Yeah.
It looked like it was someone that was like not a real person. And I just sat there admiring it. Like I didn't even walk across the field. I just like sat there admiring it. Like, this is Tom Brady. Like, this is who every kid in my shoes dreams about, duplicating, right? And he's the epitome of greatness. And I think it was just like surreal to even see him from such a far away, where there's 1,000 cameras that just ran right to him to take photos, and just like, it was surreal.
Yeah.
It was surreal.
I think Max Domi can make that happen because his dad is like
with
him, man.
Yeah.
They're tight.
I did know that.
So we'll get it.
I've met Ty once.
Oh,
yeah, over there at Cherry's High Dive.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Good for you. I obviously already know this. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, Drake.
All right, cool. So usually how we end the podcast is we usually ask two.
Bro, you're from Toronto. You can't ask that.
I know, man. I just
You
want
better make sure that they don't know who we asked right there.
Fair enough, man. If you can have anyone perform at your wedding, dead or alive, who would it be?
Morgan Wallen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a sick party, man.
Yeah,
He was here in Toronto, and it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, my brother got to enjoy him once, but I don't know. We also said Drake too. I don't know. Like, I gotta get with him.
I forgot to ask, man. How was it like having a brother growing up?
It was good. It was good. He's 7 years younger than me, so like it was kind of, when I went to college, he was just hitting middle school, and it was, we have such a far age gap, but now it's like, it doesn't matter. You know, he's 20, 23, 24. I'm about to turn 31 this week, so
March 26th.
yeah. So it was cool. It was amazing. I was able to throw to my brother all the time. That's why he's got great hands. So it works out.
Yeah. I think actually the age gap is pretty good. Like I have a brother 7 years older than me. And
Okay.
I feel like it's somebody that's looking out for you all the time.
All the
You know
time.
what I mean? So
All
it's
the time.
awesome. Will that have any impact on whether or not you have more than one child?
I'm definitely gonna have more than one child.
Cool.
For sure. We're already planning on the next one. I'm like, wait, we gotta get through the first one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And the second question I always ask is, if you could have anybody from your circle be on this podcast, who do you think would be a good guest? Besides Max?
My brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where's he living these days?
He's in Buffalo now, training
Okay.
for the NFL draft. So
Oh,
he's
amazing.
going to his pro day this week, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to somehow set that
Yeah.
up, man.
Max, get it done.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I appreciate you, man. There's
thank
you don't understand, as a small startup, small business, having somebody at your caliber come and do something like this for me
This is amazing.
means a lot. There's like people in Toronto who I'm close to that you got to convince them to come on, and I have you.
Man, guys, this is a heck of a setup. Our man right here, Daddy Day Club. Shout out to the boys, man.
Appreciate
if you're a
it.
dad, you want to be on this podcast. I'm just
Appreciate it,
saying.
dude. And thank you for
And he knows swag too. Look, show him the hoodie,
That's
man.
it, man.
I know this is one of one,
One
but
of one, and
he knows what he's doing.
That's
all
it,
right?
man. I appreciate it. And you're doing so much for the city. I've seen like all of your posts that you just want to spread a lot of joy and cheer in everybody's lives, and even wanting to take the stand like the Grey Cup too. I think retirement homes and stuff like that, man.
Yep.
Not a lot of people do stuff like that. So
Yeah, like I said, but that's kind of where growing up, seeing my uncle do things like, obviously not winning, big things, but being able to give back to the community, right? That's what it's all about, and that's what I love doing, is pleasing others, getting to give back and show, what can be and what people can look forward to. So
the new face of Toronto, man. Pleasure to meet you.
No,
And
thank
I'm
you for having me.
grateful
Appreciate
you,
it.
man. And shout out to your wife. I'm
Thank you.
wishing her all the best during the pregnancy. And you
Thank you
too.
so
Bring
much.
a pillow. Get comfortable, man. Get like those pants ready. Get a Daddy Day Club hoodie on.
We will. We definitely.
Oversized,
That'll be
man.
there.
'Cause
That'll be
I'm
the first picture.
telling you, dude, it is.
Perfect.
Oh, we can't complain, man. Your wife will fucking hit you if you start saying anything. But
This is
it was
amazing.
shit for us, man. We
Well-
did it during COVID, so it was fucking absolutely brutal. But
Well,
yeah.
hopefully everything goes smooth.
Yeah, buddy.
We're
We're behind you, man.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate your help. Thank you.